Just wanted to hit y'all with a quick little motivation, man. Quick little motivation. There's a lot of people still living in fear, still not walking in their purpose, still don't understand their purpose, still holding back on love, not receiving love, not giving love, still allowing their past to control how they move through life. And there's a lot of people ready to give up. Listen. That was a lying person move. I done took so many L's. I done been on my back so many times. But I keep fighting. The reason why I put the quotation marks, because here's what I understand. When you doing what you love, it doesn't feel like a fight. Like, regardless of how many no's I get, no matter how many times I've been on my back, I love what I do. So it doesn't feel like a fight. And when it comes to no's, I really don't even view them as no's. I view them as another hurdle I just got over to get me closer and closer to that yes. That's going to change my life for the rest of my life. You have to fly in love with the process, or you're not going to be happy at the destination. You're supposed to love what you're doing so much that fight don't feel like a fight. Just like when you're in a relationship. You know, when people say, man, relationship takes work. Yeah, but if it feels like work, you don't love that person. It could be work, the activity of work. You put in work, but you should love that process as well, because you love this person so much. It don't feel like work to you. I'm glad to do it. When it comes to your purpose, we know it at an early age, according to the studies, according to what I've experienced, like personally, what I noticed with myself, what I noticed around other people, even though they're not doing it. I know what they're supposed to be doing. Like, if I grew up with you, I know what they're supposed to be doing because they loved it so much as a child. And then we're so carefree, right? This is why I always say it's important to cater to your inner child, because as a child, you're so free. You don't care about nobody's opinions. You run around butt-ass naked, diaper slinging everywhere, and you're doing what you're happy. You're happy, Joe. And then you grow up. You got parenting. They're restricting you from you and your freedom. You got a strategic system, learning system, educational system that's set up a certain way. Now they teach you everything that has nothing to do with what you love. Well, most of us. Most parents are living vicariously through you. So whatever they was unsuccessful at, they want you to be successful in. Marriage by a certain time frame. House by a certain time frame. Career. Most parents, I'm not going to say all, because some parents, I'm starting to see it a lot more lately. Some parents allow their child to fully be themselves. But a lot of parents don't. So we routed right there. And we have to find our way back to ourselves at a later date. If it don't sit right with you, it's not you. If you don't love doing it, it's not you. Go back to your childhood days when you was free. Because now, when you get older, now you realize all these opinions you're taking on to them, all of these distractions, all of these pressures of what you supposed to be doing in life, who you supposed to be. You got all of this pressure around you, got all of this shame. They showing you what beauty supposed to look like. They showing you what success look like. So now a lot of us is folding under this pressure. And we're trying to take shortcuts because we're under this time frame, because we're supposed to be this by this time in our lives. So we're no longer patient with ourselves. We're no longer taking our time because we're not doing what we love. So now we're rushing the process. And when it comes to love, everything that happened to us when we were younger, or just in relationships, period, and a lot of that stems from our relationship with our parents, what we allow in a relationship with other people right now, what we chase, what we look for, that just keep failing. A lot of us is still holding on. A lot of us haven't really sat down and self-check and try to connect these dots to why we keep attracting what we're attracting in these relationships. A lot of us don't do that because we don't know that we need to do that. So if this video fell in your lap, just know that when you're ready for it, shit like this falls in your lap. So now it's time to do it. Got to self-reflect, connect these dots, and then we got to disconnect from what we experienced when we were younger. A lot of us damaged. I mean, like really, really traumatic shit happened to a lot of us when we were younger. And it's hard. It's hard to heal, but you have to invest in yourself. It's worth it. Like, listen to me. It's worth it, yo. It's so worth it. It's worth it. A lot of forgiving have to take place. And forgiving don't mean, like I stated in another video, allowing these people back into your life. That does not mean that. Forgiveness is mainly for you to get back behind the wheel of your life and get back in control. So you can attract the love that you deserve. Because you still deserve it. Because a lot of people don't feel like we're deserving of it. A lot of us feel dirty from our past. We feel unclean and feel like we don't deserve anything clean. You have to look when you reverse, ma'am. You can't just reverse. It's a parking lot. She was straight about to hit somebody. Don't give up on love. Don't give up on people. I talked about this before when I said when it comes to trust. And this is a part of the self-healing. And investing in yourself. Like whatever you need. Whatever you have to be conscious of what you take in now. Because when we were younger, we had no control of what went into our subconscious. We had, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had no control of it. We talking about schooling. We're talking about parenting. What we watched on TV. We had no control of what we were taking in subconsciously. So now that we're in a position to control what we take in, media-wise, friends-wise, energy-wise, you have to get behind the wheel of that first. That's why I don't watch the news. I don't watch none of that shit. And I barely watch TV. And I'm particular about what I watch, like when it comes to YouTube and shit like that. Like, I feed my mind something different. I invest in myself. Doing a lot of reading, just watching like what I take in all the way around, here and here. But I do get dirty sometimes. I like the balance, though. Don't get it twisted. You still need the balance because it get boring staying up here all the time. You gotta like dip, and that allows you to appreciate the highs when you go low. When you occasionally go low, but invest in yourself. Get to healing, because trusting yourself is going to be very important when it comes to trusting people, because it's not the people that you have to worry about. You have to get to a point where you trust yourself enough to trust the things and the people that you take into your space. Trust yourself enough to make the right choices. Because even if people not trustworthy, a lot of people not trustworthy, you still know that this is an experience you're supposed to have, and you're trusting yourself. But if you're closed off all the time, you're not going to get to where you need to be, growth-wise, and just in life, period, because you're closing everything out. How can you experience if you just close off all the time? It's time to open back up, man. It's time to get naked, and it's time to live our life. For real, like, we here, Joe. I could be walking down the street right now, die any minute. How do you want to exist in this world? And you won't know that. And I know a lot of us have fucked up lives. I get it, man. But you cannot know how you want to exist in this world unless you already existed in an undesirable state. We have to experience the difference first to know where we want to be. We got to be here first to get here, to even acknowledge where here is. So hopefully that helps some people. Y'all have a beautiful day.